Superman Man of Tomorrow issue 11 sees Superman bested by Grikus the Undefeated, a champion of the galaxy, who says that even the last son of Krypton cannot even challenge him. Sometime before, Clark talks with Lois about the slow news day. However, Lois says that she's waiting on a source to continue her embezzlement expose on the First Metro Credit Union. She's bored with the story, but Clark knows that she will make it sing like she usually does. Their conversation is interrupted by Jimmy, who is bouncing a ball in the next door cubicle. Lois tells him to bounce the ball elsewhere, so he storms off to the break room, and Clark says that Lois should have been nicer to him, but the reporter wonders how the noise wasn't getting on his nerves. Soon their talk is interrupted by the arrival of a spaceship, which Perry knows is a bad sign. Clark doesn't think it's always a bad sign, as Lois tells him that maybe he should change into his other suit and leave his nice new suit on her desk. Clark turns to change but runs into Jimmy, spilling burrito hot sauce all over his new suit. The upset Lois tells him to leave anyway, as Perry tells Jimmy to get his camera out since he hopes Superman is on his way. Clark soon confronts the ship, telling it that it is scaring the people, so it needs to state its business now. A being descends from it, telling Clark that the rumors are true about a Kryptonian still living and that it's made its home on Earth. He's curious as to why Superman didn't attack, so Clark tells him that he's more about the ask questions first and try not to shoot ever. The being knows because of this, he is a creature of honor, telling Superman that he came to battle, hoping Clark recognizes him as Grikus the Undefeated. Clark doesn't, so the warrior tells him that the galaxy has forgotten him, as he feared. Grikus tells Superman about how he was an infamous warrior designed for entertainment, and he was good at his job for decades, but was too good at it, so even the bottom feeders of Warworld would not fight him out of fear of losing. Because of this, he was forced into retirement, leaving him one fight away from 1,000 victories, a mark that would ensure he lives eternal in the annals of combat sports. Grikus came to Earth since he heard of the Kryptonian and how they gain powers under the yellow sun, so he wishes to battle Superman to the death, and he hopes Superman will grant him the kindness of a battle and restore his honor. After a pause, Superman agrees, telling the warrior that they won't be fighting there, since this place is where innocents can be hurt, and if Grikus wants this fight, he needs to do it on Superman's terms. Grikus wonders who will then bear witness for the annals of combat sport, so Clark tells him that he will bring a reporter and a photographer. In the present, Superman is knocked down by the warrior, but surprises him with a heat vision blast, blasting him across the empty field they are fighting on. Superman says that he has only been fighting for a few hours, and the warrior really didn't think that he would quit so easily. Jimmy snaps away with his camera as the warrior throws his sword at Superman, however the hero catches it. The two super beings battle for an entire day, as Grikus wishes the fight would never end. However, Superman smashes him away, throwing a tree at the warrior and telling him that now that the sun is up, it is now bedtime for the warrior. The warrior won't give up, and as Jimmy takes his pictures, Grikus finally bests Superman, knocking the hero down. Grikus is impressed with the hero's battle, calling him the finest he ever fought, thinking he has finally bested and killed Superman. His ship comes and he tells Lois and Jimmy that his time on Earth has ended and he will leave them his sword as tribute to Superman, and when they tell the world their story, remember to include that it was Grikus who was the champion. The warrior speeds off and Superman gets up as Jimmy realizes that he was just pretending to lose. Superman says that all Grikus ever knew were masters who made him fight for sport and opponents who wanted to kill him in the ring, whereas Superman has friends and loved ones and a life, so really he won in the end. And he wasn't totally pretending since the villain still packed quite a punch. Clark knows that it wasn't the warrior's fault he became how he is, and he deserves the right to retire with dignity, and when it comes to his own time, he hopes it's on his own terms as well. Jimmy wonders about the story, but Lois says that there is no story, it was just Superman putting on a show, and entertainment coverage is someone else's job at the Daily Planet. As the two reporters help Superman back into the city, Jimmy is upset that the story won't be running since he took some really great photos. Meanwhile, outside of Metropolis in a secret military installation, General Sam Lane watches on as Metallo is brought back online, told by the Doctor that John Corbin's upgrade was a complete success, and because of it, Corbin is ready to see some action. Superman Man of Tomorrow issue 11 saw Robert Venditti make a return for a few issues and continue his fun and action-packed stories while also building a secondary plot for later. I have really enjoyed the running gag Venditti has been putting out through all these books, where Clark's suits are always getting ruined in some way, and Lois is just trying her best to save them since they're cutting into her family budget, which I thought was very funny. Superman partaking in some combat sports as well was really cool, and I really like how he ended the battle and how he fought Grikus, giving Grikus a chance at glory again and allowing him to kind of retire in peace. It was really nice and totally something Superman would and should should do. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10.